Hello. Welcome to the Love Talk with the Hardings. Today I'd like to both of us agree on talking about presence, which is the highest form of love as, as a container. Um, right now, the first thing that came to mind is this. I've been doing this for most of my life, many, many years, and people ask me, or they might ask me, well, what have you learned, Bert? You know, and to tell you the truth, as I sit here talking to you, nothing. But I've just learned to trust the presence that I am. I'm a container of awareness. And that container of awareness is so pure, so beautiful, so joyous that when I'm feeling it, I'm being it, I'm just complete. What can I say? Pure love. One day I meditated and I was feeling really good. And I was going out to do some shopping. And on the way out, I was feeling so good. It's just that sometimes when I feel good like that, I don't even want to walk. I want to run. And in the middle of the road, there was a guy that was drunk, and he was not doing things and saying things that were nice. My mind immediately said, "Oh, how obnoxious!" At that moment, my energy lost about 30 to 40% of my energy. The thing is that I was so aware prior to it that I became immediately aware of that loss. And so, because I was aware of that loss of energy and I realized that I judged him, that itself returned me back to what I was. And I went back to my presence of awareness. So this is important, but your pure presence, your pure awareness. But the moment you judge or judge yourself in any way, in any negative way, there is a loss. It's okay. As Deborah will always tell you, it's okay. It's fine. But be aware of it so that it has taught you something. And the more aware you are, of course, the more present you are. And the more present you are, the more presence you are. Because presence is a container, really. We contain everything in the past. We contain all conditioning, all thoughts, feelings, emotions. But prior to that is awareness. Awareness is complete. Awareness is pure. Awareness is untouched. And yeah, we can say so much.
Can you be aware when you're not present?
Uh, no, not really, because present or presence is who you are moment to moment. You are the now.
Mm-hmm.
So you are presence without thinking you are presence, yes. But this is all you are. You are not something or someone really. I mean, in the world you are. You're a name, you're a conditioned self, but in truth, like I'm feeling now, I'm feeling just an empty vessel. But it's very beautiful, it's very complete, it's loving, you see. So this is who I am. I'm just empty. I'm just, seemingly to be Burt, but I am. Maybe you can qualify that.
Well, I think there's there's a lot of talk about presence, but people aren't clear on how can I be present and live my everyday life. And I think
Yeah,
for me the misconception is I can be present, like when I'm channeling, I'm completely clear, the channel's completely clear and I feel the energy, but there's still thought, but I'm not paying attention to the thought.
right.
It's just part of my vessel.
Brother,
And it does chatter, and there could be judgment, but that story you gave when you were running, you got distracted or paid attention to your judgment. And that's what lessens your frequency, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're present, completely present, all that can be going on, but your awareness is with the present. presence, which is
Right.
complete and total love.
Yes. So
Yeah.
when that energy, when I called him obnoxious in my own mind, acting obnoxious, I became aware that it's a judgment, and therefore the part of me that says I'm judging also lowered the energy. But when I realized that it doesn't matter, that I am pure awareness, I'm a vessel of pure awareness, that gave it
You
back.
see, that's why it's okay. Right? Because
Yeah, yeah.
that's how we learn. That's how we walk towards self-realization, is that you
Yeah.
become aware of the judgment and you're not judging yourself for judging.
Absolutely.
And so it brought you back to the presence.
Beautiful.
And so now you learned something else.
Right. Since we're judging all the time, it's okay to judge, but be aware that you're judging so that you retain the purity of self.
Even if it takes you a while to be aware. You could go for hours maybe in your day, you were very busy, and then you reflect back on your day and then you realize, oh, that time that I saw him on the road, I was judging. So because there really truly isn't any time, that it's okay. You realize you were judging then, and in that moment, that realization to me is kind of like an enlightened moment. So you became aware that you were unaware in the moment and you were judging, and so now you know. That's why it's always okay.
Right. And not to judge yourself for having judged yourself.
Yes. That takes you out of the moment for sure. And we do that all the time.
Right, right, yeah. So this is the purity of the self. You go back to almost like you were when you were a child, you go back very innocent and open in the moment. But with wisdom, and wisdom is that awareness. Wisdom is the presence. To live in that. I like to see it as presence is a vessel, empty vessel. It contains everything within it. But yet what sustains it is just this incredible purity of awareness.
Mm-hmm. And you could also say that you said, what was your word? Presence is wisdom?
Yes.
Okay. And you can also say when you are present, you can connect to your wisdom. It all works together.
It all
Right?
works together.
Yeah.
Right, right. If somebody asks you a question and at that moment you are being self-conscious, you're being, I'm this and I'm that, and should I think about it and all that, then there's no wisdom because you think about it. But if you see that right now, your presence, now the wisdom will come. And it's as simple as that, just like tuning into a radio.
So in the present moment, that's where you can get your creative ideas. That's where you get your clarity.
Yes.
That's where you get all your answers. I mean, we love that you're watching us and listening to us. But really, truly, your answers are within. So while you're listening to us and you go away from the computer and you contemplate what we've been saying, you can do this in the present moment and connect to your inner wisdom. And your inner wisdom will tell you what feels right and give you more clarity about what was said. I mean, truly, everything is inside of you. Looking within inside of you is the only place for true wisdom. But always remember that when you're connected, the inner wisdom told you to watch our video. The inner wisdom told you to go to this healer. Your inner wisdom told you to make that appointment, and so on and so forth. I don't think...
They are reminders.
Yeah. Many of us don't give ourselves enough credit for how darn wise we really are.
Yeah.
We really are. Like, people talk about the aha moment, or they talk about times where they're having a discussion and, I was telling my friend this, I don't know where the information came from, but when I realized and I said it, it sounded so wise. That was because you were completely present and you connected to the wisdom. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun, isn't it?
Yes, it's beautiful. Yeah.
And so our series is about love, and presence is love.
Yes.
The highest.
And remember
highest.
this as you go through your day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Today. Namaste.
Namaste.